everybody, and welcome to our show, Dare to Soar. My name is Laura Beth Richardson, and I'm the Intermediate Dean at our 412 campus at Pinnacle Classical Academy. I'm here today with our Dean of Secondary Education, Miss Brooks. Thank you for being with me today.
Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. We're glad you could tune in with us. We hope you had a wonderful new year. It is officially 2025, and we have some amazing news for you and some exciting things coming up in this segment and the next segment that we think you're going to love. First of all, one thing I'd like to talk about with Ms. Brooks is our internship opportunities with our high school students. This is something that has really grown this year, some very exciting opportunities for our high school kids. Ms. Brooks, tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So we are excited this year to have had an internship program. We are working with several of our local business partners in order to incorporate this into our curriculum, but students in high school have the option of taking an internship class, and they will work over 100 hours in a field of study that they are interested in. And you can see Kaylee here. She is working at Shelby Dental Care. She is learning about sterilization techniques and really how to clean and sanitize areas properly so that she is one step closer to her field of interest of being a dental hygienist. So we have Kaylee, we have Casey. He is working at Hoke Enterprises. He's been working on doing job estimations, and his communication skills have improved so greatly, writing those professional emails and really just blossoming in that area of study. So we are excited to have that opportunity for our students. Addison is working in some of our local schools with different students in her field. And like I said, we have a variety of them. Several of them are in the medical field. A variety of students doing a variety of different things, and more to come this following semester, this new semester, as our students get ready to complete these internships and start in some new areas. So this is an opportunity that we're excited to have for our students, and we are so grateful for our local community business partners in making this opportunity a reality.
I think it's so great to see our kids in the community, you know, getting firsthand experience. And tell us a little bit about how they're selected to, like, as far as their career choice, and how does this line up for these kids?
Sure. So some of them have taken some classes already in that field or area of study. They've had some basic science classes before they have gone on into the medical field, for example. Perhaps they've taken biology, maybe AP biology, anatomy and physiology, and then they're placed in that medical field under, of course, adult supervision, learning some new terms and knowledge and background and putting into place so they can see the application of what they're learning in the classroom. And so that's been an exciting experience and something that's really been a pleasure to watch go.
I think it's so great that they get this experience in high school versus their first experience being when they're in college, right?
Yeah.
So it's great to see our kids out in the community. I believe one of my family members just recently saw one of our kids in the field and noticed they were a Pinnacle student. So it's good to hear that good news.
It's been wonderful, and it's really solidified for some of our students, hey, I really do love this and I want to continue studying this. And for some of them, it's made them think about where they're going to go to college, because maybe they were thinking about being a physician's assistant and now they're considering being a doctor. And so all of those things are, you know, just essential to have that experience in high school, like you said, before they go off to college. And it's been really, really awesome experience for our students.
That's great. And just being able to fine-tune their decisions before they leave us and go into the real world. I think that's wonderful. You know, we want to make college accessible and affordable for our families, and I think this is a great step in the right direction to help them with those big decisions.
Absolutely. Just working and job shadowing with the different people has been tremendous, but this working over 100 hours in the potential field of study has just been, you know, a blessing for these students and for our schools. And the amount I have learned just watching them and going to observe them is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, speaking of being in the community and getting out of campus, off campus, recently our juniors and seniors went on a field trip to Charleston.
Yes.
And one thing, I know you can tell us a little more about that, but one thing I love about our students going on these field trips, no matter where they go, our teachers work to incorporate a tour of a university or college that's in that area that they're visiting. So again, that exposure to the possibilities that are out there for them. So some of these photos, everybody, are from their visit to Charleston. Tell us a little bit more about some of the activities and things that they saw there.
Absolutely. So we were thrilled to be able to have this opportunity for our students. They did get to tour historic downtown Charleston, of course, and Patriots Park, and they loved it, which gave them a little taste of even military life. Not all the facets of military, but a little bit of taste of military life, as we do have some of our students who typically enlist upon graduation as well. And then while on this field trip, as you discussed already, they were able to tour 2 different universities, and they're very different in their size and their locations, types of university. They were able to go to Winthrop University, and we are so thankful for our partnership with them and all that they have done to make that a possibility. And they were also able to tour Charleston Southern. I'm so sorry.
College of Charleston?
College of Charleston,
Yeah.
thank you. Yes, thank you, Laura Beth. So they were able to tour that one as well. And both of those bring different things and unique characteristics. And so it's a great thing for our students to be able to see that while they're making those college decisions. Especially for our juniors, some of them have just started doing those college tours. So they're learning what questions to ask, you know.
Right.
How does campus life vary? What types of classes do I need to be looking for if I think this is going to be my major? And do all of these colleges offer that I'm interested in? So it's just a great opportunity for our students, and we're so thankful for our faculty and staff who make this a possibility for our students.
And you know, you mentioned our juniors. It really does start sooner than you would think when you start planning ahead for your college career and what you want to do when you graduate.
Yes.
That starts very early at Pinnacle.
Yes, it does. In kindergarten, right? We talk about that
That's
all
right.
the time.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, we have some special student recognitions coming up. One student we would like to recognize is one of our high schoolers. Her name is Miss Dinah Gladden. I had the privilege of teaching her way back in elementary school, and now she's growing up and doing amazing things. Tell us a little bit about the Honors Music Society.
So Dinah is our first student to be inducted into the Tri-M Music Honor Society. That is the only honors music society in the nation.
Wow.
So we now have our very first chapter and our very first student who was inducted into that. The ceremony was just wonderful and precious, and she was able to perform a solo that evening for us with her instrument of choice. And so thankful for Miss Owens and all the work that she puts into our music program. She
Yes.
leads our choir and our band, all of our ensembles. She works tirelessly to make music just, you know, a wonderful thing that our students can enjoy and participate in. And
She's amazing.
She is. And Miss Dinah was inducted that night, and it was a big time for her family and Miss Owens and the Music Society.
Yes, and Miss Owens, in addition to our band and chorus, she teaches our middle school music. I mean, just like you said, we owe a lot to Miss Owens and everything that she puts into our program, and a lot of our students have grown in that discipline, and we're very thankful for everything that she pours into that program.
And I hear the Junior Honor Society has
Yes.
been busy as well in middle school.
Very busy. So everybody, this month is very exciting. We have around 120 students that are eligible to join our National Junior Honor Society. So what
That's
does that
awesome,
really
isn't it?
mean? It's amazing. And what I love about them joining this society is it's not just about, okay, academics, are you maintaining that, but it's about service. And I think that that is just as important as their academic standing. And so this year, our National Junior Honor Society, they are holding that induction ceremony on the 9th of this month, January 9th. And one thing you can expect to see these kids doing on our campus is different things like they're going to create Valentine candy bags, and they're going to deliver those to the nursing home residents in the area, which is very sweet. They're going to sell pizza to raise funds for a charity in March, and then they're going to start collecting school supplies in April, gearing up for the fall for students in need.
I love watching our students serve, becoming leaders, excelling academically and then giving back to the community. It is just amazing. And recently, our National Honor Society, they're really ramping up now. They're one of the biggest contributors in the county, I believe, on Relay for Life. And so they're participating in several fundraisers that are going on. So if you see those guys, help them out. But they've been wrapping presents for people. They're doing different fundraisers, like you mentioned, and it's just a joy and a privilege to watch.
Absolutely. And I know we are getting close on time, everybody, but just real quick, I know last time we talked about our homecoming parade. That's always such a fun event, and it's fun to see all of our students. We kind of like to say they're painting the town black and red in our Pinnacle colors. There you see our band marching. I know we just mentioned Miss Owens, but that was a wonderful time to celebrate the homecoming season. I know that's always busy, but it was wonderful. Thanks to our hard work of our students, our staff, and of course, Miss Brooks. And everybody, that is it for us today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're looking forward to seeing you next time. Up next, we're going to have Mr. Ziegler. He's going to share some very exciting data with us, so stay tuned. Also, Mr. Ghosty is going to share some of our athletic events with you as well. Thank you for tuning in, and we will be back after this short break.
Hi, I'm Shara Miller, the host of Artworks. Each month we bring to you wonderful, talented artists from here in Cleveland County and the region. We have artists, we have potters, we have painters, we have musicians, we have actors. We just have wonderful artists that come to you and tell you about all that they're doing, their creativity, what inspires them. Join me here on Artworks each month on C19. You can also watch us online at c19.tv.
Cleveland Community College has identified strengthening online learning as the topic for its quality enhancement plan. We're calling it SOAR. SOAR's 5-year implementation plan is focused on continuous improvement of online courses and promoting student success. We're excited for you to take this journey with us.
Here in Cleveland County, many children struggle to develop due to the lack of guidance and shortage of positive role models. At the Boys and Girls Club, we make it our team's mission to aid your child in becoming a better student and, more importantly, a better person with a brighter future.
When your child comes to the club, you can be assured they are being guided in a manner that is beneficial to the growth as an adult that is visible in their lives. Please consider giving your child the opportunity to be the absolute best they can possibly be.
Please support your local Boys and Girls Club today.
Welcome back to Dare to Soar. I'm Jeff Ziegler, Dean of Academics at Pinnacle Classical Academy. I'm joined by Mr. Brandon Ghosty, our athletic director. Pinnacle Classical Academy is a public school, and the state of North Carolina very helpfully publishes much data on public schools. I'd like to share with you a summary of Pinnacle Classical Academy's state testing data over the past 4 years since COVID. As a classical school, Pinnacle Classical Academy's purpose is to teach students how to learn for themselves. As Dorothy Sayers, the author of The Lost Tools of Learning, put it, the sole true end or purpose of education is simply this: to teach men how to learn for themselves. Again, the purpose of classical education is to teach students how to learn for themselves and not to achieve excellent test scores. However, much as blood pressure readings and cholesterol readings are signs of physical health, test scores are a sign that things are going well or maybe not so well at a school. Pinnacle Classical Academy's state test scores, though not perfect, are among the healthiest in the state. Each year, students in North Carolina public schools, whether district schools or public charter schools, take state-designed end-of-grade and end-of-course tests. Students receive a score of 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 on each of these tests, and students who score a 3, 4, or 5 are deemed grade level proficient. In other words, they scored at or above grade level. There are 115 local school districts in the state. Year after year, the local school district that does best on state exams, that has the highest percentage of students who test at or above grade level, is Chapel Hill Carborough City Schools. I'm pleased to announce that Pinnacle Classical Academy has outperformed all 115 local school districts, including Chapel Hill Carborough City Schools, every year since COVID. Let's look at the first page of the state testing report, the testing data report on your screen. You'll see that last year, 2023-2024, across North Carolina, only 54.2% of students tested at or above grade level on their state tests. At Chapel Hill Carborough City Schools, the highest performing local school district in North Carolina, 69.8% of students tested at or above grade level. At Pinnacle Classical Academy, 72.7% tested at or above grade level. We are not satisfied with that 72.7%. Still, it exceeds all 115 local school districts in the state, and it has every year for the past 4 years. Now, there are individual schools in the various districts that do have a higher proficiency percentage. But comparing apples to apples, what the state calls public school units, that is, charter schools and local school districts, we see that Pinnacle Classical Academy's test scores are among the healthiest in the state. Let's now look at the second slide and look at the state's data for students who are deemed economically disadvantaged. Tragically, across the state, only 40.9% of economically disadvantaged students tested at or above grade level last year, and that's higher actually than the previous 3 years. In Chapel Hill Carborough City Schools, it's even lower than the state average, 36.1%. But at Pinnacle Classical Academy, it's 65.5% according to the state's data. It's not where we want to be, but it's much healthier than across the state and in the top-ranked Chapel Hill Carborough City Schools, and it has been for 4 consecutive years. Let's now take a look at the third slide and look at the state's data for African American students. Across the state, only 37.9% of African American students test at or above grade level, and what a tragedy that is. In Chapel Hill Carborough City Schools, it's even lower, 35.6%. But at Pinnacle Classical Academy, it's 65.9%. It's not where we want to be, but it's much better than across the state and in the top-ranked Chapel Hill Carborough City Schools, and it has been for 4 consecutive years. Finally, let's look at the fourth slide of the testing data document and look at the state's data for Hispanic students. Across the state, only 42.1% of Hispanic students test at or above grade level, tragically. In Chapel Hill Carborough City Schools, it's 42.5% last year. but at Pinnacle Classical Academy, it's 71.1%. Again, it's not where we want to be, but it's much better than across the state and in the top-ranked Chapel Hill Carrboro City schools, and it has been for 4 consecutive years. Year after year, the statistics show that you don't have to leave Cleveland County to gain a first-rate education. Now you might wonder, where can I find this data? It's online, but it takes a lot of digging. What you're looking at is how to access this data, an accountability data sets and report link. You can type in that long URL that's on the screen, or the shorter tinyurl.com/2x2RUERF. That's tinyurl.com/2x2RUERF. Now after that, it's a 6-step process. That six-step process is described on the screen. You would click the arrow for 2023-24 reports. You would click on 2023 through 24 school assessment and other indicator data. At that point, a massive Excel spreadsheet will open up with literally hundreds of thousands of rows. You would choose the 4th tab, Combine Test Results. You would do a Control F search for the school district of your choice or the school of your choice. And to look at overall school data, there's a lot of data on that spreadsheet. You would want to look at column F, all students, and column G, all subjects. And then the percentage of students who are testing at or above grade level is in column H, grade level proficient. So again, the state publishes a great deal of detailed data, but it does take a lot of digging sometimes to find it. So if we could leave that on the screen just for another moment for anyone who would like to copy that down. So again, that's how you would find testing data for any school district, any school across the state. And it's broken down by overall, by grade level, by different categories. It's just a wealth of data, but again, it takes a lot of digging. Now, as mentioned previously, the state of North Carolina does publish a lot of data on public schools. One of the most helpful reports, I think, is the annual Low Performing Schools Report, which is released in November. And so this is the report that was released around November 15th. And what you're looking at on screen is the cover page of the Low Performing Schools Report, just so that you can see what it looks like. Now, state law defines low performing schools as, quote, those that receive a school performance grade of D or F. And sadly, there are 735 low performing schools in North Carolina. 675 of them are district schools, 55 are charter schools, and 5 are lab schools. In our 4-county area, the state has designated 33 schools as low-performing schools. In these 4 counties, the state has also designated 28 schools as continually low-performing schools. What that means, according to state statute, is that they have received a school performance grade of D or F for 2 out of the last 3 years. Now you might wonder, where can I find this report? What schools in this 4-county area have been designated by the state of North Carolina as low-performing schools? On screen, you can see a link, the full link and a shortened link to the Low Performing Schools Report, published by the state annually. The shorter link is tinyurl.com/2v6ube6a. That's tinyurl.com/2v6 UBE6Age. It's a lengthy report, but by going to that link, you can see the report and you can read for yourself the list of low-performing schools, whether district schools or charter schools or lab schools throughout the state. And again, sadly, there are 735 low-performing schools in North Carolina. It's an important report published annually by the state that can help parents and guardians make even more fully informed decisions about which school might be the best educational option for their children. And now to Mr. Gossi.
Thank you, Mr. Ziegler. It's clearly evident that the numbers clearly paint a great picture of the success that's happening in our classrooms at Pinnacle Classical Academy, and we'd also like to take a few minutes with you to tell you about the successes and the positive outcomes of our athletes outside of the classroom. And we've got a few pictures we'd like to share with you. In this first photo, you will see our JV women's volleyball team. They are the 2024 WPAC Conference Champions, and they are coached by Laura and Mr. Jerry Wellman. In the next photo, you will see here our varsity girls cross country team, who are the 2024 WPAC Conference runner-ups, and they are coached by Mr. Derek Brooks and Mr. Bobby Horton. This next photo, you see our varsity boys cross country team, who are, in fact, the 2024 WPAC Conference champions. They are also coached by Mr. Derek Brooks and Mr. Bobby Horton. The next photo are our cross country all conference runners. These guys are selected from the whole conference, and Pinnacle was out of the 5. Is proud to have the top 4, and those young men are Eli Stroud, Wheeler Stewart, Nathan Nagino, and Mr. Jalen Porter. We also had 2 young ladies who were named Volleyball All-Conference Athletes for the year, and those recognitions go to Miss Lily Brown and Miss Lily Wellman. And then last but not least, if you've not had a chance or opportunity to get out to one of our basketball games, here's a quick snapshot of our beautiful gym floor, the construction that's taken place and remains on the continued path to completion. It's just been great seeing the kids have all the added space, especially in our gym, and great things are happening there, and we're just excited to see the continued growth, and we hope to see you at a game soon. Thank you for your time, Mr. Ziegler.
And thank you, Mr. Gossi. And that's all for today's edition of Dare to Soar. For more information about Pinnacle Classical Academy, recognized as one of the best elementary schools, best middle schools, and best high schools in the nation by U.S. News and World Report, please visit www.pinnacleclassicalacademy.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn.